Hey everybody, welcome back. Mike here at MH Tutorials. Well guys, today we're going to do another request, and the request for today is can you model a tankard, I believe it's pronounced. So what is that? It's kind of a pewter beer or wine mug, the ones that you see in castles and so forth. So that's what we're going to go with, right? So we're going to start off without reference, so it's kind of going to be something that I just kind of make up, if you will. So we're going to start with a polygon cylinder, drag that out, pull that up, hit R to stretch that out a bit, and let's give that some subdivision, okay? Now we'll do 45, which is nice and round, and then we're going to switch to our front view, and we're going to tweak the shape a bit. Now first it should be a bit taller, so we're going to stretch that out. And it usually has a base that's a bit wider, so we're going to right click at a vertex, drag select these, hit R, and scale that out until we get something looking like this. All right. Now, it usually has decoration on the bottom and on the top, so we're going to add some edge loops for that. So we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box. Make sure you got equal distance, so we just get one every time we click. We're going to add one down here and make that one fairly thick, and then two above that that are slightly thinner. We're going to add one down here, two pretty close to each other. Let's see if I got it there. There we go, two of them. And then at the top, we're going to do one here, approximately same height, and one a bit thicker. Okay, hit Q on your keyboard. We're going to go down here, and I'll just hit 5 for shaded mode. That's looks a bit better. Right click face, drag select these bottom 3 rows, edit mesh, extrude, hit R on your keyboard, scale that out, then just drag select these two, G to repeat last command, R to scale out, and we'll do it once more for the bottom one, G to repeat, and R to scale out, like that. Now we'll focus on this guy. We're just gonna select that face row, G to repeat, R to scale out, give that a little bit, and we're going to go up to the top, and we are going to drag select all 3 of them, G to repeat, R to scale out. Actually, that's a bit too much. Just a little, that's fine. Then select the second and third, G to repeat, R to scale out, and just select the bottom one, and G to repeat, and R to scale out. Okay, so that will give us this as a basic shape. 5 for shaded mode. Now I want to get rid of the top here, so I'm gonna select these 2 faces, hit Shift period on my keyboard, and just deselect these faces here. So all I got selected right now is just the top faces. Okay, hit delete on your keyboard, and as you can see, these walls are very thin, so we're gonna give the whole thing some thickness. Okay, so we're gonna right click, go to object mode, select the whole thing, and then we're going to go to edit mesh, extrude, and on thickness we're going to click and we're going to give it 0.15, which will give the whole thing a bit more body. Okay, cool. So next what we're going to do is we're going to create the lid. So for that we'll take a polygon cylinder, drag that out, pull it up just a little. We're going to give it 45 subdivisions as well. Let's switch to our top view, select that guy, right click object mode, and we are going to Let's see, I need to delete the history, way too much going on. Okay, so we're going to set our translate values to 0 to get it nice and centered. We're going to do the same for this guy. So it's inside, drag select the whole thing, edit, delete by type, history. Okay, now let's see where our letter's gone. There it is, it's in the middle. Oops, I just want that one. Yeah, pull that up. And now if we go back to our top view, we can scale it. Now it's hard to see here because you don't really know exactly what your edge is, so we'll just check it from here. 5 for shaded mode. We're going to bring that in, hit W, pull it down. Okay. Now this looks like a very clean fit. Let's just see. All right. So now we're going to add an edge. Edit mesh, insert edge loop. We're going to add one right there. Hit Q on your keyboard. Right click face. We're going to select that row. Edit mesh and extrude. We're going to hit R and we're going to scale that out until it is pretty much level, and we'll check that from this view here. Level with these sides here. That kind of looks okay, so that's good. So there we go. And now we need to bring that in and give it the shape that we're looking for. Okay, so we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop. Where'd he go? Right there. Let's see. We'll do one there. Then hit Q on our keyboard. Double click. Hit R. And scale that in. And then let's see. Yeah, scale that in. And then oh, I forgot to hit Q on my keyboard. I'm sorry. We got that. Control D to duplicate. Why is that thing not playing ball? Okay. It should, but it's not. That's fine. Okay, we'll go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool again. I'll add one there, which is good. Q on your keyboard. We're going to right click at a face, and we are going to select this row here and hit Shift period to select that. We'll deselect that row, which looks like it's a manual effort, but we can speed that up by going to this view and deselecting that row. Just check to make sure we got them all. There we go. Okay. And then Edit Mesh, Extrude, hit W, pull that up, and R, and scale that in, like so. G to repeat, W to pull up. We got something we need to fix there, but we'll do that in a sec. R to scale that in again, like that. G to repeat, W to raise, R to scale in. Let's just check that. Okay, we can give that a bit more. G to repeat, W to raise, and it'll do quite a bit more this time. And R to scale. And then we'll go to the top and we'll select these and hit Shift period to get that, if you will. Okay. And we are going to hit G to repeat, W to raise a little bit. There's something going on there. Not quite sure what. But the thing is, I want to have this bulge shape on the top. So what we'll do is something different. Right click edge, select that edge, pull that up. Let's see. Just give me one. Oh, there's my problem. Okay. I thought I saw something going on there. Delete those. All right. We're going to right click at our vertex. We're going to select that vertex and only that one. And as you can see, I got some more selected. So just that one. And we're going to raise that a little bit. Okay. Now that looks okay. Cool. Now, next, we can actually, let's do a little bit of ornamentation on top. Let's do a sphere. We'll take a polygon sphere. We will give that some subdivision. Let's say 40 by 40. We're going to set the translate values to 0. And then we're going to raise that up. And let's make that a bit bigger. So hit R and scale that. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's see, not too big. No, that's fine. Okay. All right. So now that we got that, we are going to focus on the handle. And for that, I'm going to create a polygon cylinder. Pull that up. Give that some subdivision. Let's say 40. Check from my top to see where it's at. Let's move that over and move that up. F to zoom in. We're going to bring that towards our, I'm just going to call that thing a mug, okay? Right there, there we go. From this view, we're going to bring down the diameter. So hit R to about so. Then we're going to stretch this out a bit. Hit W and bring that down. And the height should be pretty much from this decoration line here to just below the lid. So we're going to stretch it out a bit more and just move it in to see if we are close. That's about right. Okay, cool. So now that we got that and it's in the right position, there we go. We are going to create a polygon cube. Going to give that some height. Switch to our top view. Hit F to zoom in. Edit mesh, insert edge loop, option box, multiple, sorry, not that one, multiple edges. Hit 4 and add them. Q on your keyboard. Right click vertex. We're going to select these two. Hit R. We're going to push that in. Select that one. Stretch that out. And select these 4 and make them quite big. Then we're going to go to edit mesh, insert edge loop again. And we're going to add edge loops here and here. Okay. Hit Q on your keyboard. Right click vertex. Drag click those. Hit R and stretch them out. Take these, stretch them out a little. Then we're going to try to bridge that a little bit. And then we're going to take these 4 rows. Take these 2 rows. And then take these hit W, take these, and take these until we get a shape that looks like that. Right click object mode. Let's bring that towards where we need to be. Hit F to zoom in. And obviously we're going to need to position that and scale that and so forth. But that's fine. I got a thinner section here and it's thicker over there, which is good. We're going to bring that down. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see how that looks. Okay, not quite smooth enough. So we are going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, Option Box, set our number to 2, and we'll add them there. Hit Q on your keyboard. Select these two edge rows and hit R and scale them out, which will give it a bit more body, like so. And to hold the shape, we're going to go to Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop, Option Box, go to Equal Distance, and we're going to add an edge loop and push that up as far as we can, if it will, and it will not. That one does, that one, no, there we go. Okay, cool. So that, now we're going to hit 4 for wireframe mode, because we need to kind of trim that down a bit. Right click face, select these, hit delete, and then move in and right click vertex, select those, hit W and bring them out. Okay, right click object mode. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate that, W to move that up. And that one, as you can see, we actually need to push back again. So right click vertex, drag select those, and push them in. Okay, 5 for shaded mode. We are going to soft select those in a sec. No worries about that. We're going to add some decoration to the handle. Okay, so let's do that in this view here. Let's see, Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box, and yeah, that's fine. And we'll do 1 and 2 there. 1 and actually, let's go back a few steps. I want them to be equally distanced. So, Edit Mesh, Insert Edge Loop Tool, Option Box. We'll do multiple and we'll do 4. There we go. Hit Q on your keyboard. Right click, go to Edge. Select that edge and that edge. And then hit R and scale them out towards the other two. So now you have a nice equal distance. Hit Q on your keyboard. Move in. Right click face. Select that row. And select that row. And now we're just going to hit R. Sorry, forgot something. Edit mesh, extrude. And now hit R. And pull that out. And then move that back up like so. Which will give us that. Okay. Now we're going to add a little ornament on top, if you will. So, but we do need to keep in mind that we need to have our thumb lid for the top here. So for that, we are going to, let me think. We're going to create a polygon pipe. We're going to bring that up. Give that some subdivision, let's say 40. right click object mode, hit E, rotate that 90 degrees. Okay, now it's going to hinge on top here, so let's move that into its position. It looks a bit crooked. Oh, there we go. These should be 0. Fine. Bring that in towards there. Hit F to zoom in. Just make sure it's positioned okay. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale that down quite a bit. And move that over here. Check from my height point of view. It's going to be, let's see, where will that be? We'll do that here. And actually we'll increase the size just a little because it's kind of off proportion wise. There we go. And then we're going to hit Control, actually we're going to pull it in. Hit Control D to duplicate. We're going to move that over just a bit and Control D to duplicate and move it over to this end as well. Spacing looks okay. I have to check that out. Okay, that's fine. And let's see. Okay, so now we need to have a little peg in there. So we'll take a polygon cylinder, pull that up, hit E, rotate that by -90. Let's hit W, move that up, move that in, and let's get that into position. Okay, so first we're going to give it a bit more subdivision. Let's do 40. And move it towards where it needs to be. That's fine. And then from this view, move it in as well. F to zoom in. All right. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale that in until it sticks out at both ends, just. Okay. And then we're going to hit F to zoom in. Right click edge. Select that outer edge and shift select that outer edge. Edit mesh, bevel. And then tweak the offset so that edge is sticking out. Let's say 186, 0.186. Okay. Okay, so we got that part. Now we need to connect the lid. All right. And maybe I'll need to move this whole thing in a sec, but we'll just deal with that as we move forward. So we are going to look at the lid from this angle here. So that's our lid. Okay. So we got, let's see, right click face. Nope. Right click face. That looks about right. Probably got the ones at the other end. That always happens. That's not what I was going for. So I'll do it from this view here. Okay. Edit mesh, extrude. We're going to pull that out and pull that down, but it's not allowed to hit that. So, and then edit mesh, extrude, pull that out, pull it down. And this is going to connect to the middle section. So we're going to start to scale that in. Edit mesh, extrude, pull that out, pull it down, check from the side to see if that flow is looking okay. Almost. Right click vertex, drag select those, drag select those. That looks a bit better. Okay. And we need to scale this so it's fitting the middle point of our hinge. Okay. So right click vertex, drag select that, hit R. Okay. And we're just going to go and hit 4 for wireframe mode. And sorry. And we're just going to take these two vertices and we're going to push them in and then hit 5. Okay. And let's add some edge loops here. Or what we can do is, yeah, actually we'll add some edge loops. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, option box. There we go. And one there. There we go. That's nice. We'll put one up there. Right click object mode, select this guy. Okay, this is with 3 on my keyboard. How does that look? That's not bad. All right, these need to move. Sorry. I'll do that in a sec. All right. So now we need to have the thumb thingy. No idea what that's called. So for that, we will create a polygon cube. Actually, we're not. We're going to take this guy, Control D, hit W, pull that out because it's already pretty close to what we're looking for. We're going to hit R. We're going to scale that down and make that nice and thin. And then we're going to switch to this view here. And we're going to start to tweak that. Right click vertex. Let's drag select all of these. Hit W. Start to move that up. Skip one row. Start to move that up. Take these two. Move that up. Take all of this. Move that down. And just basically start to tweak this to a point where you have a nice curve going on. There's one little vertex right there that's not playing ball, apparently. There you go. Let's see how that looks. Not bad. Maybe we can take these and actually even push it down further, which will allow us to give it a good angle. We're going to need to scale those in. So hit R, scale that in, and let's start to position that. Okay. Right click object mode, hit W to move that in. F to zoom in, pull that up. Yeah, okay, that's starting to look okay. From our top view, F to zoom in, make sure it's positioned correctly, bring it in there, and like before, we need to right click, go to vertex, got those, hit R and start to bring them in until they fit inside the hinge in the middle. And these guys need to move slightly. Sorry, I have to deselect this guy first. and this guy as well. Okay, now let's check to see what we got. Now we need to tweak the vertices a little bit, just a little. So first we're gonna move it in a bit more. Check from this view here. Okay, to keep roughly the same angle, that would be about this. We are going to bring the whole thing in a bit, so select vertices, and that looks a bit better. And maybe if we take the whole object and we move the pivot point, so hit insert on your keyboard, move that over to there, and then hit E, and kind of rotate that up. So we have freedom of movement to open the lid, okay? Okay. 4 on your keyboard for wireframe mode, right click vertex, come on, right click vertex, there we go, select those, hit R, scale that in some more, 5 for shaded mode, let's do object mode, hit 3 on your keyboard, which will give us this. This is actually not bad, and we are getting very close to completion. I just want to add some kind of detail to these two ends here. So for that, we'll take a polygon sphere, pull that out, create 40 by 40 subdivisions, select it, hit R and squish it flat. Let's check that, maybe even a bit more, that's fine. And hit W and start to move that towards where we want to be. I have to zoom in. It looks nice and centered. However, we are going to bring it in a bit. And then hit W and bring that up. There we go. Control D to duplicate. Pull it up here. Hit F to zoom in. And go to there. Let's check from our top view. Okay, these guys need to move in. F to zoom in. Make sure we're in the middle. And then hit R and kind of give them a round shape again, which will look like this. Okay. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this will give us enough freedom of movement. So if you push this down, if the lid will come up to the extent that you can actually drink, if you will. So there are a couple of ways we can fix that. One would be to take this, and this mesh, combine, switch to this view here. We have R selected. We're going to bring that in just a little bit, not too much. Second would be to take this guy, hit E and rotate, oops, take the right handle, rotate that some more. And one thing more we can do, which actually makes sense, is make this thing a bit shorter. So right click vertex, drag select, hit W, and we're going to bring the whole thing a bit closer, okay? Which will give us this. All right, now we're going to take this guy, 3 on our keyboard, take this guy, 3 on our keyboard. Okay, now the bottom section here is a bit too round, so I'm just going to select that, go back to 1, and I'm going to add an edge here. Edit mesh, insert edge loop tool, option box, Setting is good. Add an edge right here and bring that down. Q on your keyboard, right click object mode, and hit 3 on your keyboard. That looks a bit better, okay? So that's it. We're gonna select this guy, mesh, combine, right click, assign new material. Now, what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna create 2 of these and I'm gonna give them each a different material so we can kind of check that out, okay? Control D to duplicate, move that over. We're gonna select them both and move them up onto our grid line, which means bringing it down just a bit. There we go. Now let's move them in a way that they're not 100% facing the same way and so forth, because that looks a bit artificial. So we got that. We're going to create a ground plane. Hit R, scale that out and scale that out. Right click, assign new material for our ground plane. Let's do a Fong E and change that to white. We'll take that guy, right click, assign new material, MIA underscore X, material tab, presets, and we're going to go with setting metal and hit replace. And that one, right click, assign new material, same material type, again presets, but in this case chrome and replace. Okay, so we got those. We're going to set up some lighting, create lights, point light, hit W to move that up, and I'm going to hit 7 on my keyboard to see the effect of my lighting. Hang on, render viewport. Okay, pull that up a bit. I don't want to have the immediate reflection. And we'll just move them in a way so we can see some detail. We'll have to rotate this guy a little bit. Like that. Take our ground plane, scale it out a bit more so we don't see the edges. So that would be that. We're going to go to our render settings, switch to mental ray, indirect lighting. Let's see, I'll select global illumination and final gathering. Quality tab 1.5, common tab, I want an image size of HD 1080. Back to indirect lighting, select image based lighting, minimize that, and I'm going to search for an HDRI file that I want to use. So click on my folder. Let's see, where to go? My HDRI, and let's go with, let's see, I got a sky here. Let's see if that's going to work out for us. Okay, so I'm going to hit the render button and I'll pause the video so you guys don't have to wait for that, and I'll see you guys in a sec. So that button right here, there we go. Well guys, there you go. This is the final render for our tankards or mugs. And as you can see, 2 different materials applied, quite a lot of reflection going on. And you know, if you don't really want to have that level of reflection, you can obviously UV this with a different material. But this is it as far as this tutorial is concerned. As always, if you got any questions, let me know. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.